I was trying to carry a lamp with my weenie hands, but I dropped it, and now the town's on fire. Oh.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're back here for another weekly podcast, if we can call it a podcast, with my friend Red Dead Panda, all the way from New Zealand. Say hello, Red Panda, and where are you from? I mean,
Okay,
where are you
sure.
from? Everyone knows where you're from, so just say it. But where your channel is, because I like to advertise the channel at the beginning.
Yep, thanks, Elite. So I am on Twitter, so you can find me on Twitter at Red Dead Panda, and I am also on YouTube at Red Dead Panda Gaming. So hopefully I will have my first video up later this evening. So please follow, like, comment, subscribe.
Share.
And leave a message on this channel and share it. I will also be sharing a link to this video on my Twitter as well.
Yeah, massive gamer, so please sub and share. Okay, so what we're going to do in this, we'll cover it all again later on. What we're going to do in this episode is we're going to go for the PS5 reveal that happened 20 hours ago or so. Just going to go for it and give our opinions on it. We've got sort of a little list that looks something like this, and we're just going to run through it all and give our opinions on it. So I'm going to let you get the ball rolling in, Panda. GTA 5. That's how the game. That's how the show opened, with GTA 5, the PS4 version. Go.
Well, well, it's releasing for Xbox Series X and PS5 in 2021. I'm a bit concerned. Like, I'm surprised that they led with that, considering that they were talking about how this is going to lead us into next gen. And all the clips that they showed was either PS3 or PS4 graphics. They didn't show us a glimpse of what potentially the upgrade might look like on next gen systems. And that's probably because they've only recently decided that they want to do it. So it's all in the works. It's not ready for show, but I am worried because this whole, we haven't had a new GTA since PS3 and Xbox 360. They just remastered the previous one of GTA 5 for next gen consoles or current gen consoles. They're doing that again. When are we going to get our next GTA game? Like, I'm kind of annoyed, and I'm worried that they're going to be charging for it. Or they may do this nice thing and do smart delivery through Xbox, hopefully.
Well, that's my point. The Xbox Series X version will get the smart delivery version, so it will get a free upgrade. So that's probably why they've not advertised it for Xbox Series X, because Xbox Series X gamers will automatically get the upgraded version. But is your point that the PS5 version, if you want an upgraded version of PS5, you have to buy a remastered version of the same game?
You may do. I mean,
is that what they're trying to sell us? Is that what they're trying to sell Sony gamers?
Rockstar hasn't really said anything, and I think because it's their IP, they're being a bit quiet about it. Like, they haven't officially confirmed smart delivery for Xbox, and they haven't really said whether or not one of those 100 top games on PS4 is going to be GTA 5 playable on PS5.
Yeah.
They haven't actually confirmed anything, and I think it's left a lot of openings for gamers to go, we don't want to spend more money on a remaster, give it to us free, that's expected. Most people paid for an upgrade.
Well, the game is 2 generations.
GTA 5.
By the time next generation comes out, the game will be 2 generations old. So
if we look at the previous generation, how many GTA games came out in previous generations? 360 and PS3 era? Wasn't it like 3 or 4 GTA versions of games that came out in that period? This whole gen, there's been one GTA game. Right, Rockstar was working on Red Dead,
really
but they should be 2 different teams.
Yeah. And it's shocking
they are really milking.
That is their plan to... Obviously, through smart delivery, Xbox Series X will automatically get a remastered version, but it'd be a really naughty idea and plan very anti-consumer if their plan is to release a remastered PS5 version for
Yeah, so
X amount of
anti-consumer.
money, when the Xbox Series X version will get a free remastered version through smart delivery. That's really
Yep,
naughty.
yep. I mean, like if you've had a look at some of the memes that have been running around the internet at the moment, there's an interesting one of this like shriveled up cow, um, and that's GTA 5, and
Mm,
then Rockstar, who's the farmer, heading over with all these empty buckets to fill up milk,
yeah,
basically money. So they're just
yeah,
milking the franchise or
it
milking
is.
GTA 5 for every penny that they can.
It is horribly lazy of them.
It, yeah, it's just
And I
anti-consumer. Just
think
don't even do it.
it's
Just
at this
tease
point
GTA
they're
6
losing
next gen.
respect. I
Why
think,
bother?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
losing
Well,
respect.
why bother putting any time and effort into
Yeah.
GTA 5 when they could just go, cool, we're cutting it short there. GTA 6, it's because it's
Well,
such a big cash cow with the
it's
microtransactions.
massively popular anyway, so you don't even have to do what they're doing right now. They could just let it run its course, carry on, people carry on playing it, let it run its course. Meanwhile, just release GTA 6 like they normally do. Not start
Yeah,
promoting remastered versions of 2 generation old games that people are still massively playing. You don't need to remaster it.
yeah. Well, everyone's busy
Or you
playing
shouldn't have to remaster it for the PS5 version, because the
GTA
PS5
Online.
version you should get smart delivery, but Sony are not giving smart delivery. So, whereas Xbox Series X is. So that's in itself is naughty. But for GTA to think, oh wait a minute, we can make more money off Sony gamers, is really
Yeah,
greedy on both parts, on them and Sony really. But we'll
who knows
see
what's happening?
how
We
that's going to
shall
pan
see.
out. Yeah, but that's how it's. I think
I'm
that's what we're
concerned.
both. Yeah, if anyone in the comments can say otherwise, if they, there is a genuine opinion if they said that if the Xbox Series X is getting a special remastered version that's going to cost me 40 quid because they're not going to do a smart delivery version, which I can't see how that's going to work. Let us know.
Yeah,
But
give
yeah,
us your opinion, give us
give
your
us your
comment.
opinion in your comment below.
Um, Let us know what you think Rockstar's going to be doing.
Yeah,
I think everyone as a gamer has a valid opinion,
yeah,
regardless of what platform you play it on. It is a multiplayer game, third
yeah.
party, so there's no console wars in this game.
No, just
Um,
what's best for consumer.
well, I think we've milked that topic for all it is.
Yes, let's just
Sorry
release
about
some
that,
DLC
pun
for that topic.
guys. Yes.
Talking of
I just
DLC, should we move on to the next part?
yes. Yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I hope I said that right. I am so bad with names.
Yeah.
Um, that is Holiday 2020, and it is a PS5 exclusive. As far as I can find, there's no mention of it coming to PS4. What are your thoughts on that?
Right, my thoughts is, for one, Sony recently come out and said all PS5 games exclusives will not be going to PS4, which is really naughty of them because they've got 110 million people that own PS4 consoles. So to release a game for the PS5 and not open up to the PS4 market of 110 million gamers is really anti-consumer and is cutting them their sales short on a lot of money there. But secondly, what is the game? Is it just a remastered version of Spider-Man? The sort of Spider-Man, I don't know what to call it, Spider-Man PS4 version with just DLC? Because to me, that's what it looks like. As you said in your
Yeah.
showing your notes, it just looks like a remastered DLC version of the original game. It does. It's not
My
a brand new
concern,
game. It's not a new game at all.
my concern here is that it isn't a brand new game. Yes, it's the fact that they've taken the base foundations of what
Yeah,
Spider-Man is from PS4, made it even better for PS5, put Miles Morales in his story, so it's going to be like, Uncharted 4, you've got that game. Then you
yeah,
have Uncharted Lost Legacies. It's not a
yeah,
complete Uncharted 5 game. It's more of a in-between type add-on or expansion or DLC.
yeah,
In this case, people who fell in love with Spider-Man, who are wanting to play more Spider-Man, they're they've played it on PS4. In order for them to play this at the moment, they're going to have to upgrade to a PS5.
yeah,
However, PlayStation has already announced that they're only going to have 6 to 7 million consoles available
yeah,
um, in the launch window of the PS5. How many are going to be available day one? How many people are going to get access to that game day one? They're going to be, like, I guess, shooting themselves in the foot and kind of cutting off half of their own fan base by not making it available for PS4.
No.
Um, I'm just concerned about that, really. I mean,
Yeah.
we look at
I'm
it here.
I'm concerned that they've already done this with the other Spider-Man game, the original Spider-Man game PS4 version, is that they released the game and then I think it was about a month after it launched, they've released some DLC. They've released actually 3 DLC for the original Spider-Man game. Each one I think cost about £15 each, and but there was very minimal DLC. I think it was only about 30 minutes, an hour extra content. Very minimal thing. If it cost about 15-20 pence, but it looked like stuff that you could have had in the actual game, but it looks like
Yeah.
they've just took it out of the game to sell as DLC to make more money. It was just like
Well,
such minor
maybe
sort of missions
Insomniac
that
was
you.
doing what what oh my god, I can't think of it today.
Bungie, Destiny,
No,
because Destiny done the same
what's
thing,
the
didn't
Witcher's
it?
developer's name? Off the top of my head, it's completely gone out of my head. For the Witcher series.
Oh, CD Projekt Red.
CD Projekt Red. I knew it had a red in it. My brain
Yeah.
just completely drew a blank. CD Projekt Red did with like Blood and Wine. That was expansive and a true add-on onto the base game. And I think that the intention was probably to always bring it to PS4, and then when PS5 became available for them to do development, Sony's
Yeah.
like, hey, how about we just cut it and put it on PS5? Why didn't they just leave it and go not holiday 2020? Why don't they do holiday 2021 or something and just
Yeah.
pad out the game and actually give them a proper sequel?
Yeah.
That would have been a lot more impactful for the Sony fan base and fire them up, because they would have known that they would be getting a full-fledged game, next level, and then if there are any delays, it's because it's about polishing into 2022.
Well, that is
Why
my
didn't
other
that happen?
that is my other concern, because they're looking to, hopefully they're not going to look into milk Spider-Man and ruin the Spider-Man franchise again. I do hope they're not going to drop the. I mean, this is a launch title, which I think is a bit very weak launch title. I know people go, "Oh, it's Spider-Man," but at the end of the day, it is sort of remastered DLC, and that is your launch game. Bear in mind that's going to be going up against Halo Infinite. You've got
Which
Spider-Man
is why I
DLC
think they've
versus
got
Halo
it.
Infinite. Yes, it just looks like a desperate move by Sony, because they've got no
How
big major
many? Yeah.
first
How
party
many
launch titles.
no
So it's just
major
their little,
first-party launch
yeah.
titles?
So they're giving away Spider-Man DLC as their launch title to compete with Halo Infinite, and I think that's really just cheap of them. And I think that's
Yeah, I
partly
think
why they're boasting the GTA 5 remaster as well. So, I mean, how can you launch a new console, boast about power and stuff, and all you've got to offer is
what
2 remasters at launch?
what did Inside Xbox open with? On their Inside Xbox,
The
which was
third party
solely
ones.
third-party and some
Yeah,
indie. Yeah, what
yeah.
was it? It was
I can't remember.
Bright Memory Infinite or something like that. Bright
Yeah.
Infinite Memory? Oh my god, that name is confusing to me as well. Um, Bad with names, guys. Just putting it out there. Um, but that was made by a single developer, right? Yes, it was on PC first, and it's been done in like episodic, and the next episode is this one.
Yeah.
But that was next gen. That's how you open it. Something that is impressive. GTA 4,
Yeah.
5, sorry, with PS4 and PS3 graphics. Nah. Sorry, moving back. Moving forward. Yeah, I don't think that they have first party ready to go, like
Nah.
fully really ready to go. So in order to try and move people over, this is a teaser going.
That's what I mean. I
Imagine
think
what
it's
this game is like
it's
at launch.
cheap.
Imagine what Insomniac's
It's
gonna do
yeah,
with their next full-on sequel.
because they know their fan base will leap onto Spider-Man just blindly, not realizing that all they're buying is remastered DLC. That is my concern. It's a bit of a cheap shot, really, just to pull people over.
Well, as a person who was intending on getting a PS5 myself at some point,
Yeah.
probably not day one. I can't afford both consoles at day one. If I will give Spider-Man a go.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that with that, I'm hoping Spider-Man 4 I mean, Spider-Man for PS4 will be backwards compatible. They haven't really talked about how that
No.
backwards compatibility works yet.
Yeah.
But I will get a chance to play the original game.
That's what I'm
Looks
looking
really
to
good.
do because I don't
And
actually like
then I'm gonna
Miles
play
Morales'
this one.
character, so I'm looking to play the original on the PS5
Have you
because
seen
of
the movie,
I didn't like it.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
Into the Spider-Verse?
yeah, I didn't like it. I know lots of people did, and it got really good reviews. I just don't like the character very much. I think he's just too young for me. He's
To
too.
be honest, I haven't seen it.
I
Don't hate on
preferred.
me.
I don't know. No, I watched it and I watched about halfway through and I didn't like him. I did think he's too. I don't know. Obviously, that's the whole point of it. He's meant to be young and learning and stuff. But I just thought it was just. I don't know. Maybe because I'm brought up with the original Peter Parker and stuff, and now he's more mature and he's older now. Going back to him being a young boy again, sort of basically the same character with sort of this sort of generation's mentality and stuff. It just doesn't sit with me, so I didn't like the character at all. I didn't like him.
Well, I'm looking forward to learning more about it. And I think August you're going to hear a bit more about it, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
With the rumored Sony press conference in August, which we'll probably hear about price.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day. All right. What's on our next game?
Okay.
Hey.
So let's move on to the next subject. Gran Turismo 7, a racing game. Your favourite? Opinions
I
on
love racing games.
Do you? Oh, okay. Go on then.
Views on that? I think because Sony really needs their flagship racing game, or
Yeah.
PlayStation does, that it's a good thing that it's coming back for next gen. I mean, basically,
Gran Turismo 7 is
Forza has cornered the market on
taken the
amazing
crown.
games, and for basically that Forza Horizon,
Yeah.
kingmaker there, right there. And I think for the fact that when they first announced that Polyphony Digital was looking at it, like looking at ray tracing, and they've been testing it with Gran Turismo, that gave me hints about the fact that PS5 would involve ray tracing to some degree. And then because they were working on it with Gran Turismo, I was like, they're not going to use old GT Sport that was for the PS4. They're going to bring Gran Turismo to next gen. So, as a racing game, I'm excited for it, but I really just want to see what Forza's going to say back to that Forza Motorsports. I think they're going to have a lot to say back to it. And I've played Gran Turismo games before on my friends' PlayStations, and it's never pulled me in. Like, those sort of racing simulation games have never really drawn me in. The fact that you're on track by track, there's no open world element to it, which is why I really, the first time I tried Forza Horizon games, I immediately was like, this is amazing, love it, with the verticality, the way you move over the landscapes, and like, I played Forza Horizon 2, so loved that. Then I played Forza Horizon, the first one, because it was on Game Pass as a backwards compat game, and it was really, really fun. Loved Forza Horizon 3 in Australia, and then loved Forza Horizon 4 in England, in the UK. Those games are awesome. You get that Forza Motorsports vibe from it, but then you get that cool arcadey drivey thing. So it's the best of both worlds merged together, and that's what kind of drives me. Yes, it looks really beautiful. Still think the sound is a bit off. I still think sound in Forza Motorsports sounds better and more realistic, but you can definitely see a bump in the graphics, especially around textures, lighting, the actual
What for?
racing circuits. They do look improved, and you can definitely see a boost there. But it was really hard to see quality
1080p 30, yeah.
because it was at 1080p 30. That's what kind of, and even at 1080p 30, because it was streaming in, you got the artifacting in there. It just didn't look okay. So I went back and I've watched all of these in the high quality videos that were available through PlayStation's YouTube channel, so I could get a better understanding. And when I watched it there, I was like, this impresses me more now. But at the time I watched the stream, I wasn't overly impressed, and that's why I was like, I really want to see Forza Motorsport come back and and hit them back and go,
Yeah.
this is your game, this is what we're doing, and yeah, I'm more into that franchise than I am into GT's franchise. I think they've still got a lot of growing to do. Like when you look at the map and what they were showing, moving around and going through the different things like the tracks and then the car customer like tuning and all of that. It looked generic and it looked more like next I just want the gameplay. Why did you put this in the trailer? Or I mean, we only wanted gameplay. I didn't want to see the menus or anything like that. That's not what I'm there for. I want to see driving.
Yeah, you do.
I have a lot to say about that.
Firstly, I was shocked because I'd done a video on it a while back, one of my news things, because the developer said that it come out in, I can't remember, it was some, when they do sort of, these companies say this game's coming out because it comes up on sort of their sales thingies, and then the developers come out and said no, they're not working on another Gran Turismo, they're not sure where this rumour's come from, but it's false. So that's why I was shocked, because the developers themselves, which I showed in my news video, said that they're not working on. No, they were not working on Gran Turismo. So obviously they were lying, just so they can show it in this on their thingy. So, but yes, and also the 10 Digital Foundry said the same thing, confirmed this, that they were shocked that they had done the live stream in 1080p 30 FPS, and they can't see why they did it. I know lots of people, there is a reason why, and some people have said why this reason is, but even Digital Foundry themselves said they don't see still why they didn't do it 4K, because I can't remember the reason why Sony gave, and some people were sort of defending that. I can't.
Oh, they said something about the fact it was like internet and it was hard.
Yeah, but I can't. But even Digital Foundry said they talk about next gens, power, graphics, performance. Then just to stream it in 1080p 30 on your live show, which millions are watching, it's not doing you any favours, and it didn't. And when you watched it, it didn't do favours, and it looked great. Other than that, as a racing game, yeah, it looked good, but it doesn't look like it's offering anything that Forza's not. It's like Forza at the moment has the lead, and it'd be interesting to see, will it come down to then just graphics and sound to compare the two? Is that what it's going to come down at the end of the day? Because Forza always has the title, so and if they did just basically more or less the same game, but the Forza games, the other difference is Forza games have always had far more tracks, far more cars. So are they going to raise the bar for GT? Is the main question that we want to know, really. I mean, graphically it looks good, but how many tracks have we got? How many cars have we got? How much customization got? Which is what Forza always did on. The other thing, Forza Horizon is open world at the end of the day, not just a track raiser, which raises the bar even more compared to just a standard track raiser, I think.
I mean, if you want to talk about it in that respect, like if we're just looking at this gen, Forza Motorsport 7, because they're just really 7, right? They about two coming up 3 years ago, and then GT Sport released, and the comparisons were yes, it ran at 4K 60 for Forza Motorsports, and GT Sport didn't hit that 4K 60 the way that Forza Motorsports did. But they kept mentioning the fact that the actual cars in GT Sport looked nicer.
Yeah.
And that is because they had less cars to work on. They could spend that time refining them, making them look
Yeah.
extra pretty and smooth off edges and anything like that. So
Yeah.
in the idea of it, the scale of the game was smaller, but the length of time they spent on the game would have been just as
Yeah.
long, if not longer, because Forza
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Motorsport
Forza
releases
Motorsport's
a
every two
game like
years. Forza
every
Horizon's
two
every 2
years. It
years.
used to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Now we've had a longer development cycle for this one, and I
Yeah.
think we're going to see. I think because we've had a longer development
That's where a lot
cycle
of
for
people
this game,
confuse.
the next
A
Forza,
lot of
I
people
think
say
it's going to show.
that Forza games are annual. They're not actually annual games because Forza Motorsport is made by Turn 10, so it's a completely different dev and it's a completely different game because Forza Motorsport is a simulation track racer, whereas Forza Horizon's made by Playground Games, a different dev obviously, and is an arcade open world racer. So they're actually two, even though they're both called Forza, they share the same name. They're actually two different races made by two different dev companies. So when people say, "Oh, it's annual Forza," they're not the same game. So
Yep.
that's where people get that wrong. It's not like MLB, for example, which is basically the same baseball game. They just redo the players, or FIFA or NBA. They're annual games, and they are the same game, made by the same devs. They just update it for that year. The Forza games are not like that. They're not annual games like that. But the way that as Digital Foundry describe it, the way the
Yeah.
cars in GT, the individual car you're driving graphically looks better than the one in Forza. But as they said, that's because there's less detail on the surroundings. I mean, there was less weather effects, there was less shading, there was less cars on screen, and that's why the graphics on your car that you're driving could be bumped up because there's less detail in the rest of the world. So that's why, basically. But
Mm.
I think so. Actually, move on to next game. I'll let you lead.
Yeah, next game. Did I mention GTA GT7 is a PS5 exclusive?
No,
No mention of thing else other than PS5, and no release date. So it's probably, who knows? It could
I hope for
release
Sony
during
it
the
does
launch window,
because,
or it could
as
release
we know, as it stands so
holiday
far, we've
next
only
year.
got Spider-Man as a launch title, and Godfall, which we'll come to. But as it stands, we've only got Spider-Man as a launch title, as the first party launch title. First party, yeah. Which is right.
Yeah, as a first
Go on,
part.
you lead. What's next? I ain't got the
Alright,
list in
yeah.
front of
Next one.
me.
What? What's on the list? What? Oh, sorry, my phone went dead. Okay. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart,
Yeah.
PS5 exclusive. Also, no release date. Your
Right, I
thoughts on
actually
that game
was
that showed
speaking
at
to
the
Slow Mo
PS5 reveal
about
event,
this, mentioned it
January 11th?
briefly today. Um, it's getting a lot of praise because it's 4K native. It obviously didn't run on 4K native on the stream, run at 1080p, but Digital Foundry done the after sort of thing of it where they watch the game in its proper how it's meant to be played. It was 4K native, which is great. It's 4K native. Does it look like a next gen game? Some people are saying yes, as Slow Mo was saying. I don't think it does for the reasons that it's a cartoony game, and cartoony games use lot less shading and just generally just less detail. If you compare it to, I don't know, Uncharted, God of War, all the other PS4 exclusives, it doesn't use that much detail. It's the same argument basically as people were saying, like Sea of Thieves run at 4K native. Would you say Sea of Thieves looks like a next gen game? People can say no. Same as any cartoony game. So I'll just carry that same energy. I don't think this looks like a next gen game or a game that promotes next gen's power. Next gen power. It might promote SSD because they're saying
gen.
all the leaping through things like that. It might promote
I'm
sort of the quick play. You can leap through worlds. There's slow times. It might promote that. Graphically, it didn't jump at me and go play me. Graphically, it didn't make my jaw drop. Also, I can't stand those kind of games either. I hate those sort of cartoony, platformy. It looked like it would be at home on the Switch, personally, and it didn't impress me. So when that come on, and they played it for a long while, they actually did a lot of gameplay because very few of the games on the actual show gameplay. That one showed the most by far. There was a lot to it, which means it possibly could be launch title. Maybe they've not really mentioned it. But as it went on, it dragged on for me, and I was like, please go on to the next game now because it's really boring me. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, you go on.
Yeah, it's not your sort
That's
of
fine.
game. I get it. I get it.
I'm
I'm
muting you
gonna
now.
actually have to disagree with you on this, which I think is great opportunity. Yeah. So I mean, I think it did give an idea of what PS5 is capable of around the I/O and the streaming and assets and everything like that. It graphically, technically, in my thoughts, I reckon it is next gen. Not the art style or anything like that. Look at a Pixar movie quality,
Oh yeah,
um, like the way that they
yeah,
do their art assets and everything like that. You could see that level of quality in this. I mean, if you look at what
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3, which is released this gen, and they were like, it's almost at that level where it's kind of getting very close to what Disney movies can do or Pixar movies can do. And I feel like this was showing that. So cutscene wise, yes, I felt like it was a big upgrade if you look at previous Ratchet and Clank games. I've never played a Ratchet and Clank game, not my type of game, something that doesn't interest me whatsoever. I know it's very Sony or PlayStation fan base, so whenever I see that, I know it's going to be a PlayStation game, and I always get that PlayStation vibe from it. So it's not a game I'm going to pick up on the PS5, but then more along the lines of my thoughts around it being next gen, like the transitions between when you're going through the rift, and then you've got that little.
There was a pause
Running
though.
through
Did you
the
see the
rift,
pause?
and
There
then
was a
bam, you go
pause
through
as
the
you're
next
jumping through the
portal,
rifts.
and
I'm
you're
not
on
sure
the
if that was
next
just
screen.
because it was running at FPS, 30 FPS on the streamed
I
version. Yeah, possibly.
I think it might have been because of the quality of the stream, but my thoughts are that
Yeah,
jump in between each rift. So you go into a rift,
yeah,
you go into that sequence between the next world, and then you go through the next portal. Um, is a loading screen. I think it's such a quick loading screen though that they're able to hide that loading screen like that. That's what I think. I think there is a loading screen there, and they've hidden it so well as part of the mechanics of the game around how you move from world to world with the fact that the world is falling apart. That's my
yeah.
thoughts. It's an opinion. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I
that's what I
think
think is
maybe,
it's so
I
fast
think
that that
maybe
loading
my
screen is
point
like
is all
bam, done. Like
generation
you've got
we've
this
been
little
told that
you've got this
cartoony
little
games are
sequence.
not next gen, they're not decent, they're not good enough. And then we've been sold on all PS4 exclusives are masterpieces.
Yeah.
They all look like movies. They all look like adult movies. And then we're given this as
Then they
as
don't.
a game that then was
Single
told,
player,
no, this is
story
next gen. Look
driven.
at it, it's amazing. And then you think, you've told me God of War is amazing and masterpiece. You told me The Last of Us 2
I
is
think
amazing. Ghost of Tsushima, Uncharted, and now you're trying to sell me this game's a masterpiece. Yes.
this game. I think it's because
What?
I think there is a double standard in my opinion around what yeah, there definitely is around the fact that Xbox is a snapshot of a wide variety of games for a wide range of ages and different people who want to play. You've got young kids who play Xbox. You've got young kids who play PlayStation. Yet people
Yeah,
see a game that is designed for
yeah,
that um, demographic, that age group, and they see a PlayStation game and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome." There, but when they see an Xbox version of a game that's designed for kids, it gets trashed, and I don't understand the reason why. So I think what they're trying to do with their showcases, both Xbox and Sony or PlayStation, sorry, um, they're trying to give a snapshot of what they can offer everyone. But for some reason,
yeah,
Xbox seems to get hit and brought down the most when it comes to showing games for everyone, whereas
yeah.
PlayStation, they just accept it and they go, that is a game that's not for me. Understandable, that game is not for me. I think heading back to my thoughts around Ratchet and Clank showing off next gen is there's a sequence when you're watching the gameplay and he like uses that whatever that thing is and like zooms through into another section. I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know what it is, but he smashes through some boxes, and all you see is these tiny little wood particles, and they're so fine, and there's littered everywhere, and I'm thinking that is showing that these
Yeah.
CPUs, these graphics cards, can deal with a lot more than they previously could. There was a lot more AI on screen. It felt a lot more alive, a lot more particle effects. If you go and look at Ratchet and Clank game that's designed for this gen, and then look at a Ratchet and Clank game that will be designed for next gen, the new one, you will be able to see the difference. I guess it's going to be that isn't final, so we'll probably see more about it. They're still making it. It's not a game for me, like I said, but I do think it is giving a snapshot at what PlayStation 5 is capable of. I don't think they're quite getting everything out of it as they can because it's new hardware. It's going to take a while for them to get used to it. Just like it's going to take a while for Xbox devs or people who are third-party designing for the Xbox Series X to get used to the hardware and squeeze every bit of power out of it, which is why I think Sony's holding off their first-party developers and allowing them to release a little bit later so they can make those games look fire.
Yeah. Which is what they do every generation, basically. The generations, they always start... I'm shocked that people are still, every generation, they think they're going to release the best games. Sony are renowned for not releasing their masterpieces 2 or 3 years into the generation. They've done it with PS4 basically. Their first masterpiece, so to speak, was basically Uncharted, which didn't come out in 2016. Yeah. You could argue Bloodborne was their first masterpiece, but that still didn't come out till May 2015, so 2 years after release. So, yeah.
All right.
Let's move on.
Moving along. Project Athea, which is a PS5 exclusive. Apparently, from what I could find, it may also be coming to PC at some time, but that's not 100% confirmed. Definitely being made for the PS5. Who knows if it's going to be a specific PS5 exclusive. That wasn't very clear, like from what I could find. No release date as of yet. Obviously, pre-alpha footage we saw with a little bit of gameplay, which was like 2 seconds long. Exaggerating, obviously, it was more than 2 seconds. But your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I can't remember this game. what one was this? Because I'll get confused. Because there's a lot of games that sort of looked, I thought, fairly similar. So this one was the one with...
This is... I don't know how to describe it, but you've got a girl walking and then you see part of her face. And then you've got some different footage of her running across or jumping and then moving across some like pillars, and then using some powers to make some vines move and all of those sort of things.
Oh, right. This is one where she's like, oh yeah, she's like, she can like, it looks sort of like a superhero-esque. She can like fly kind of thing, or she just jumps really high and jumps from sort of pillar to pillar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It looked interesting, and graphically it looks quite impressive. The game generally looked okay. It's probably these things, these little quick trailers that I don't think it showed enough. Or I like it, while the game looks good, I want that kind of game. I want to see more detail. What's more involved in it before I can really say yes.
Was it? Can't remember who's making it. This one, but this is one.
This is not Square Enix, is it?
As no. Actually, I don't think it is. I think Square Enix is doing that Pragmata, but don't quote me on that. I'd have to bring it up.
I know. I think 2 of the games are for Square Enix. I can't remember which ones are.
Oh, it might have. This might have been one of Square Enix's one as well. Now I think about it, but this is one that actually kind of drew me in. I actually liked the look of it. It was only a snapshot. It's still clearly very early in development.
Yeah, it's nothing good. It's not set for
But it gave you an idea of what they're wanting to do with the game. Traversal and everything like that. And to give me an idea and to actually see the graphical enhancements on there, I think it's something to look out for.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep an eye out for it. It did interest me quite a bit. I'm a big Tomb Raider fan, and I just got massive that kind of realistic vibe that Tomb Raider gives you, in some aspects around graphics. So I'm quite intrigued by it. I want to know more about it, basically. So if it's only a PS5 exclusive, I will eventually get a PS5 for that game.
Yeah.
Because there's no release date, we don't know when it's coming out, so I'm assuming probably 2022. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, hopefully you won't
My
get a
thoughts.
PS5 just that game, because that would be an expensive game.
Yeah, exactly. Next we. Anything else you want to add to
No,
Project
no,
Thea?
no. Yeah. I just remember it graphically looking good and impressive. It's one of those games that I'd rather see more detail and gameplay on that than Ratchet and Clank, basically. So, but yeah,
I
but let's
agree.
move on. Yeah,
Ratchet and Clank wasn't for me.
no, it wasn't for me.
Project Thea,
Yeah, and we all know what
had a lot
We all
of
know what Ratchet
gameplay
and
in it.
Clank is. So
You know what
yeah,
those games are. This
yeah,
one was a bit of a mystery, so I was much more drawn in about it.
yeah,
And then the next one is Stray. This also interests me because I'm a giant cat person.
yeah.
Big old cat lady.
Oh yeah, this is the
Um,
yeah. Which at first I didn't think it was about
I
the cat. I thought it was going to be something about the robot, and the cat is just like a companion or something. But then towards the end, it sort of drifted off. It was just about the cat, wasn't it? The cat, you see the cat going off and doing his own little adventures, kind of thing.
yeah. So I want to know more about this. What drew
Yeah,
me in is because you saw them start kind of setting the tone of the world, and then you see that little cat, and then you see its eyes reflective,
yeah,
and then it runs away, and I was like, "Oh, I hope there's more of this cat in this game because I love cats, and that just reminded me of my cat or my
yeah,
sister's cat." And then you saw a little bit more about it, and it was at their perspective and at their height. I'm like, "This is a game about a cat." That's really cool. Not enough about it, so I'm kind of intrigued. Currently can only find mention of it coming to PS5 and a release date for 2021. No idea when in 2021. Hoping it's multiplayer. Fingers crossed. You never know. But it
yeah.
did interest me, so I want to know more about it. Just an indie game,
It's
looks
it's
like.
little indie. There quite a few of the titles they showed were indie games, and so yeah, how involved is this game going to be? That's the interesting thing, and when it releases and stuff like that. But once again, as I said in my video I made, is the problem is that it's a shame Sony doesn't have a Game Pass, because they're the kind of
Yes,
games that would go into Game Pass and do really well.
this would be a great game on Game Pass. Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Otherwise, unfortunately, these kind of games will release, and you just won't see the Sony fan base buying into it, spending £40 on this game, and then it will just be forgotten, like a lot of the games, I think. Which in turn then ironically end up on Xbox, because then they end up going to Xbox and end up in Game Pass, don't they? Like games like Hellblade and
Yeah.
stuff like that. They end up thinking, oh, we've not done well. What should we do now? I don't know. Let's try the other console. So they put it on the other console, it goes straight into Game Pass, and we all play it, and then it does successful.
Yep.
That's
Um,
a few of the games. Like a few of the games I was watching and thinking, this is a great looking game. Shame it's not in Game Pass, because I just worry that it's just going to die. So, but yes, it deserves better. Right, go next.
Yeah.
Pardon my creak on the chair.
Returnal. That's okay. Next is Returnal. What were your thoughts on that? It is a PS5 exclusive at this stage. From what I can tell, it's solely PS5 exclusive. It has no release date yet.
You're gonna have to just remind me of this game. I can't remember.
That was that one where she's in her ship. It crashes.
Oh,
on this planet,
yeah. So
explores it and dies.
it's like that movie with
and repeats it.
Tom Cruise. Yeah, the rinse
Edge of
repeat
Tomorrow?
thing. Is that what it's called? Edge of Tomorrow? Rinse
Something like that. That's
rinse
a really good
repeat.
movie.
Something die rinse die repeat or something. I can't remember what it's called.
It's done by the people who did. Was it Shogun? Is it Shogun? Is it,
Oh, okay.
is it?
Yeah.
Is it the same?
This
I can't
looked.
remember. Yeah.
My question is it going to be sort of like the movie? It looked, the story wasn't obviously too original, because now we've seen a couple of games like it and some movies like it now. My point was, so in the games, it wasn't clear. If you die in the game, do you then have to restart the game from level 1 or from the
You mean
beginning?
if they have a permadeath option?
Yeah. Is it a permadeath? Is that why it's, and you have to learn and try to keep going through it and learn the game? which would be
I don't
interesting.
necessarily think it's permadeath because they said sometimes when she loads, like sometimes she comes back, the world is different. So I think it's built into the mechanics of the
Right.
game, maybe to purposely do that.
Yeah.
Who knows? It could be that maybe you have a permadeath feature if you don't reach a certain checkpoint. Who knows?
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
I got I
Just
got
redo it.
I got some Mass Effect vibes from it initially. Um, and then it got very dark, and I was like, so this is going to be
Yeah,
a
and it
game
got
that I will watch people play. I won't play it myself.
no.
I'm
Yeah.
not into dark
Yeah.
games.
The more I watched it, the more I was sort of put off by it. I think it when it started going into sort of it went then started going. I think it went into was it demons? It started going on sort of aliens or something. And it just started
Yeah,
going off onto sort of a different path of it.
next
Yeah, and
level.
the more I was watching it, the more I thought, oh, it's getting sillier and yeah, and it got less and less
It
interesting. And the character in it, she didn't seem to. I didn't like think, oh, she's
like didn't
engaged with her now. She
um
didn't look interesting at
yeah.
all. She didn't pull me in at all. And then I was thinking, so do you die? And then you have to play it all again, and that's what the thingy just like sort of just like the movie was like, where he dies, then he has to relive that same day over again until he works out what he's meant to do. Kind of like there's several games out like at the moment. There's that one where you're meant to solve a murder, and on the Xbox you're meant to solve a murder, and if you don't, you get killed. Well, you're meant to solve something, and if you don't, you get killed, and then
I
you have to
remember the
relive
game.
the
I
whole
haven't
game.
played it yet,
Yeah, you
but I
remember
remember the
that?
game. It
Yeah,
was like on in ID at Xbox stages
yeah, yeah.
for E3 like last year,
That's
before. I
basically
can't
the same.
remember.
And then below's the same as well. If you die, then you have to redo it again from the beginning.
Oh,
Um,
no, thank you.
yeah,
No, thank you.
yeah. But that game was massively
Um,
hard. They even said that it's massive.
I think
Um,
there's more to uncover about that game.
yeah,
I didn't get enough info about it. Like
no,
the shooting and stuff, yes, pretty lights.
yeah. It looked very shooty,
But
shooty.
I
Didn't it?
think I'll just it's not for me. And the idea is this. Not every game in this reveal was for everyone.
No,
So there were some that stood out to me. And there were others that I would just pass on, like the next game,
yeah,
Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Thank you. Next.
yeah.
Okay, that's a bit harsh. It's a PS5 exclusive.
Oh, we actually are going to talk about
Currently
Sackboy.
only mentions PS5, does not mention that it's coming to PS4, and
No.
also another game with no confirmed release date.
So what is it? We talking about Sackboy now?
Yeah, Sackboy: A Big
Yeah.
Adventure.
Yeah. Should we skip that? I do. I really honestly don't really care for it.
Looks like it's got multiplayer, but I agree. Let's skip. It's not for me.
It not for
No
me either,
interest in
and it does look like a Switch game. That was one of that was a perfect example. It didn't even look next gen at all either. It looked like a PS4 game. It didn't look
I
great.
think it's just the arts. The art
Yeah,
style. Who knows? I don't know that the way it's designed. I don't think it can do what Ratchet and Clank does with all the
no,
particle effects.
exactly. When they just show
But
Ratchet
okay,
Clank and then
let's
show
move.
that, yeah, it's gone.
Okay, next was Destruction All Stars. PS5 only at this stage,
Yeah,
and no confirmed release date.
no, I've heard since that it's possibly timed exclusive. It's not exclusive. What studio is it made by? It's
Yeah,
not made by a first party studio, is it?
I can't remember. I don't actually have
I
that up
think
on my screen.
I think
You'd have to look it up.
yeah. Um,
Um,
I think
what's
I'm
on
going to do it
there?
now. I think possibly. My thoughts at first is that it looked good. It reminded me of Twisted Metal on the PS2.
Never played that, but I've
So
heard
I
of it.
like those games and they were good. The only thing I didn't like from this is that it reminded me a bit of Bleeding's Edge with the sort of the characters, the sort of
Bleeding
wacky,
Edge.
out of
I got
wacky
Fortnite
characters, or
Bleeding
oh
Edge,
yeah,
Rocket
or
League vibes from it.
yeah, Overwatch, yeah. And
Yeah.
unlike Twisted Metal, it didn't look dark enough, and I didn't like. I thought they would in Twisted Metal. The good thing about Twisted Metal is basically exactly the same game as Twisted Metal, but in Twisted Metal you had a weird variety of cars. Like you could drive around in a an ice cream van. There's a lorry. There's a bike. There's a massive mixture. This they just sort of look like just all sort of generic cars, like just racing cars, and the characters didn't pop
The
out at me immediately. The game
this
looks fun, but the
game.
characters didn't really.
Well, my thoughts are the game in theory looks fun. In theory,
Yeah,
I say that because I want to see people playing it, enjoying themselves. Like for for what we have right now, the way everything's happening in the world, it's very hard to show off this type of game, which is clearly a multiplayer, the way they're wanting to involve everyone. Um, like showing of PUBG, which is clearly an online game. They had some jokes in there, like the person getting hit with the frying pan. Like I didn't feel like this had that comedic enjoyment factor to it. Like they didn't show that off well. It felt very superficial. I wasn't really interested in that cat helmet lady, whatever she was, running around like an idiot. It didn't hit me. I was like, nah, it's not a game for me. Then again, it's a game for someone else,
Yeah.
or it's a game that some people are going to try, and if they enjoy it, they're going to enjoy it. I think it's one of those you either like it or you don't, and I don't. That's
Yeah.
all I really want to say
So
about it.
looking it up, it's made by some of the people that made Wipeout, which was an exclusive to PlayStation. Um, but it also it says it's going to debut on the PS5. So by saying that the word debut, does that mean it's possibly going to go somewhere else? Um,
Um, it could be coming to PC.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's because it's a multiplayer game, clearly multiplayer. I think it's probably going to go to PC,
yeah,
and I think if Sony does things smart, they're going to allow cross what was it,
yeah.
cross platform
Yeah, I know what you're on about. Yeah, yeah, not crossplay. Yeah, you know what you're on about.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, when you
Cross.
something or other. I know what you're on
I
about.
can't think of the word for it.
I know when you
But yeah, um, yeah.
cross-platform kind of thing. I can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, yeah, it looks alright.
The next one, which I also have on my list as a game that intrigued me and I liked the look of, was is it Kena? Kena Bridge of Spirits. I kind of got Fable vibes from it in a way, like the original Fable type feeling of the world. This is the one that you said kind of made you feel like Ori in a way, I think.
Oh, is this it with the girl and she's got the stick
Yes.
and it's got the little black pudding things? Yeah, yeah. Keenan
You
Bridges
ready to get
spirits.
legal in? He's messaging at the moment.
Oh, is he?
Did you? Yeah,
Um,
he said he's available now. This game intrigued me. What else is happening with it?
oh
I'll
yeah.
bring it back up. It was PS4, PS5, and PC. So far is all I could find on it. Maybe it might be coming to Xbox. Who knows? And no release date as of yet.
I've
It
invited him in
does
now.
look interesting.
Sorry.
Um, I'm intrigued by it. I want to know more. I think it's going to be a really interesting game. At the end of the
What's
day,
up, y'all?
Yeah, mate.
hello. How are
Oh,
you?
hold on, can't even hear y'all. Hold on.
We're
You
just
talking?
yeah, we're just going through.
There you
We're
go.
just going through the games now. And now we're on. We've already started the podcast. I think it's like about 45 minutes
Good
ago.
job,
Kena
man.
Bridge of Spirits.
We're talking about Kino
Oh,
Bridge of
oh,
Spirits now. I when I
wait a
first
minute.
see
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You saying Legal crashed Elite Gaming Guru's show today?
yeah, I pulled you in. Yeah.
You mean I really crashed?
um,
More than welcome.
Before, what's up, Red Dead Panda? Before I, hey, listen, I want to say something real quick, man. Elite Gaming Guru is my friend.
yeah.
He's my brother. He's my comrade, and I'm truly thankful for him. Um, Words don't do the guy justice, and Elite Gaming Guru goes wherever I go. That's the bottom line. Um, Support the guy. Appreciate him. He does good work. Very, very positive in these Xbox streets. You don't have to be major to do major things. And what I appreciate about him is that he's always reaching out to me, and I'm always there. It's like I try to be for him. Red Dead Panda has been a great person to meet in these Xbox streets, and these two exemplify what it means to be a part of a great community of gamers. And we just take that time out of our lives, just take that time out of our lives to come together and do something good. I'm just thankful, Elite, that you consider me as somebody who can come up on your platform, man, and pay you a visit from time to time.
That's cool,
It
man.
really means a lot to me. And I just wanted to say that, man.
That's cool. Well, yeah, so we're going through everything. We're just going for the basic. Panda's made a list of the games, and we're just going through it. And now we're on Kena Bridges Spirits. When it first popped up, I thought it was I think it looked like Ori, but like a first-person version of it. Looking at the game, it says platform, and it's got the Windows symbol. So
Yeah,
I guess it's going
coming to
onto
PS4,
PC.
PS5, and PC.
Yeah. So
Man, I am. Don't even listen. I'm in here. I don't even know what's going on. Panda Elite Guru has taken over, man. It's all good.
now, what's your do you remember Kena Bridges Spirits? What's your take on it?
I don't. I'm sorry. I don't.
It was hard to remember. A lot of the games did it similar.
Right, man. All I know, are y'all talking about the Sony event? Is this the
Yeah.
Sony event?
Yeah.
Oh man, all I know is I was bombarded by a bunch of cartoon games, bro, and I was so bombarded that I couldn't dig my way out of them. So forgive me if I struggle to even remember.
That's
But
right.
I do want to say one game. Can I say one game though?
Go for
I
it.
don't know the actual name of it, but it was the one game. It was the highlight reel of that whole entire event. This one I say has to be a mind-blowing, sensational, extravaganza. However robust that I can possibly come up with some words for it. But it was that cat game, the kitty
Stray?
cat game. Stray.
Yeah, we just covered that.
Stray
Panda's
was-
a massive
Stray
favourite.
was-
Yeah.
Yeah, Stray was just unbelievable. I mean, Stray is what we all want, right? It's what we've all been waiting for a next generational.
Are you being sarcastic now? I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I'm not sure.
I mean, to me, that was the best game out of that whole show. Stray, hands down. And man, if you're gonna buy a PlayStation 5, please go out and get that game. Stray all the way for me, man. That's it. That's all I wanted to say, man.
All right, cool.
It'll be good on Game Pass.
Yeah, it would be good. We were saying a lot of the games would be good on Game Pass.
What were the rest of your thoughts about Kena?
It looked alright. I wouldn't buy it personally. I'd play it if it's on Game Pass. I would not buy it. The game. As I said, it looked like
Anyone get any
it looked like a
Beyond Good and
third-person
Evil vibes?
version. I think it looked like a third-person version of Ori to me. Just the
Third-person Ori game?
yeah, it's just because it was a bit platformy, wasn't it? And just the world,
Yeah.
the villains in it,
And very
and the
colourful.
magic, yeah, colourful. Even the blue powers she was using, the blue sort of bolts and things. It just looked very Ori to me. The whole nature world sort of thing. It just very Ori to me. So
Alright. Next is Goodbye Volcano High. Goodbye that game,
Oh, yeah.
please. 2021 release date, as far as I know. Not much to say on that.
nothing to say on
not my
that.
cup
Should we
of
skip
tea.
that? Volcano High.
I really didn't care for it at all.
It looked like
Anyone
It
a
was a
want to
failure.
that
it
way?
looked like a comic. It didn't.
That show
Was there gameplay? What was the gameplay? And what was the?
I don't think
It-
there was gameplay. I actually don't know.
It just
was-
looked like
the art style was like it was anime, kind of cartoony type.
it. Just all of it.
I believe the only two games that had gameplay was Ratchet and Clank and Horizons, the new Horizon Zero Dawn
Yeah,
game.
that's
I
what I'm
think those
thinking.
were the only two games that they actually showed gameplay. The other ones were just like it was gameplay, but it was in a sense of like a trailer.
Yeah.
So it was just
Yeah.
it's like trailer gameplays.
Which is a
Not to
no-no
take
because
away
Xbox
from
got
the-
slated for that.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Exactly.
Not taking away from the fact that devs have worked hard on this. I'm sure it's a good game to some degree, but it's not for me, and it's not for most people I've spoken to. Right, well, next that one. Oddworld Soulstorm. No release
Wow.
date. PS5,
Wow.
as far as I know. That game creeped me out, to be honest. Didn't like the art style. I don't.
It
Didn't like
just
the
I don't
concept.
know, man. It's not. Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea.
No.
Isn't that? Haven't
It
they
just-
done? This is Hasn't it already got some other games in it? Oddworld has. I'm pretty sure I've seen
Yeah,
something
that's
similar to
right.
that.
That's what
Soulstorm's on with the girl with the funny hair, funky hair, wasn't it?
an Odd World fan is not. I'm
Yeah.
not one of them. So I mean, but
No,
you're right, Red. They have made more. It's been
Yeah.
multiple series for it.
Soulstorm was the guy with the things on his lips, like holding his lips shut.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm confused that one.
Yeah,
Right,
not for
yeah,
me,
that looked graphically good, but it was a lot of it, all the good stuff looked like cutscenes. When it went to the gameplay, what it reminded me was like Lemmings. It looks like it's a side-scrolling platform game, and the purpose of it is you've got to lead all these people through the map without dying. That's what I could gather from it, because they all look like they was following him, and whereas they was dying. Yeah.
2020, guys.
So it
I
looked
know.
like
I
a
know.
it looked like a cutscene glorified version of Lemmings, basically, to me.
Right.
When you see actual gameplay.
Happy for us to jump to the next game, guys?
Yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo, PS5 exclusive as of this stage. There has been rumours that it's also coming to PC, who knows? Release date 2021.
Nice little fun game. I mean, nice little. It's just, I don't know, y'all. Look, I've already did my rant. I don't want to feel like I'm down in the show, but it's a 6.7 to me. So how can I even front and act like it was anything? To me, here's the sad part. And listen, man, PlayStation 5 it's not really PlayStation 5's fault, right? It's a console. It's the people who designed it and made it its fault because it's really not revolutionary. We're looking at these games and Xbox fans are yarning. We're sleeping on these games because there's really nothing to excite us. We're already on an elite pedestal. We're already in 4K 60. It's you got to catch up. Now it's 1440p or 1880. And it's just like, yo, even Horizon Zero Dawn, right? I hope I'm not skipping anything, but I'm not gonna elaborate. I'm just gonna say it looked beautiful, but it looked PlayStation beautiful. It's not beautiful to where none of those games that I saw made me feel like, damn, these games only could be made on PlayStation 5. And that's what my problem is with the whole Sony situation of splitting these games because when you had your opportunity to show us to make us feel like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Look at all this technology. Look what's into these games. There's no way they can make these games look this good on the PlayStation 4 Pro. And I'm gonna tell you why. The perfect example is the Spider-Man game. But when you look at the Spider-Man game, when you look at the Miles Morales, there's really nothing there. So what was the big deal about? Why split that game and make people buy a PlayStation 5 just to play an expansion standalone version of the same city, the same everything? But the PlayStation 4 crowd, which is the bulk of your crowd, right? 110 million people have a console. We're not saying 110 million actually play games, but we're just saying 110 people actually got the console, right? You're telling them that, hey, you can't play the next Spider-Man game, even though this is the most funniest stuff ever. Even though you made it sell 13 million copies, but no, you can't get the next one. You had to get the console. Now, the reason why Legal is saying that, did y'all look at the digital foundry for The Last of Us 2 today? It
No,
came
No.
out
not
today?
yet. It's on my list.
Okay. The damn PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Pro cannot even sustain 30 frames per second on the damn game.
Oh, really?
It can't even hold it stable. Nope, can't do it. And they call the damn console a Pro. It's PlayStation 4 Pro, yet it cannot sustain a locked 30 frames per second, Guru and Red. This is a damn atrocity, man. It's atrocious, man. It's hilarious at the same time because the reason why I'm saying it is because we both know, everybody in this party chatting, to all the listeners out there, this is the last game that was actually built from the ground up with all of the juices and power of the PlayStation 4 Pro. There was that game was designed for the Pro. They just talked about it, and because I think Ghost of Tsushima wasn't. It was already in development, but The Last of Us 2 that's PlayStation 4 Pro crown jewel, and it can't even stabilize 30 frames per second. And when you watch that video, you can tell that they're really let down, but they're trying their best to make it out of something, which is so funny. And then they start crying towards the end, talking about they would love for it to be a remaster and possible 4K. So it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Watch.
Well, I think if you... The funny thing is, like, boost mode and all, because people are saying, like, have been swirling that the game sound, like, the console sounds like it's gonna kill itself just to run this game. And
Oh
I think
yeah,
if
that's
it
right. I
could run
forgot.
at 30 frames, 30, locked 30, it would probably make the console explode.
Mm.
It is
Or
running.
melt.
It is running fast. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. It is. It will be loud. That's true. I forgot all about that. They
Yep,
did
it's gonna be
say that.
running loud.
Yep. They did say that. Yeah, because they're pushing the limits, and that's what I wanted to. You're right. That's a good Red Dead. I forgot all about that. That came out of their own words.
Mm-hmm.
Right, let's move on to the next. What's the next? So if we
Uh,
finished on that game,
yeah.
what was that? That was
Yeah,
the
Ghostwire
Lemming
looks
Man.
interesting, but not really for me. Jet the Far Shore. I'm gonna jet the next game because that looked boring.
Yeah.
Info only mentions PS5 and release date for 2020. Not
Yeah.
my cup of tea.
Next game.
And then we have Godfall, the
I
looter
know it.
slasher.
Should we skip that too?
PS5
Has anyone got any cares for Godfall? It's
PC
basically
You did this.
2020.
it's basically a melee version
You
of
created
Borderlands.
monsters.
Yeah, it's a melee version of Borderlands, but without the characteristics of Borderlands. The characters look bland. They didn't give the personality that the Borderlands characters have. It just looked like a straight hack and slash with no character to it.
Right.
It looks empty. I feel
Yeah.
the game doesn't have character or
No.
life to it.
Right.
Um,
Right.
And the characters don't have any character
Like-
to them.
Watching the stream, yes, it looked bad. The stream looked bad in general. But I went back and, like I said, I watched all the videos on
Right, back on
PlayStation's
YouTube.
channel. Yeah,
Yeah,
on YouTube,
separate,
4K
all
quality.
separate. Exactly.
I was watching
Right.
it and I was like, is it dropping frames?
Yeah.
It doesn't
really?
look solid. It doesn't look optimized. It with certain sections, I'm like, she looks like she's chugging a little bit in certain areas. Maybe it's just smooth, and it concerned me because this is a PS5 game.
Yeah.
There are already
That's
rumors
running on the
about
PS5.
Demon Souls going to be two options, whether you want 60 frames or whether you want graphics. Why can't you have a happy medium? Do you know why you can't have a medium?
That's
Because
right.
PlayStation compromised on their console
Yeah.
with the
right.
variable frequencies.
Is that what they said? Demon Souls is going to have a choice.
SSDs
That's
are
what
gonna
Xbox
fix it.
X has. It shouldn't be
Right,
that
now,
option.
Demon Souls is
next
another.
gen.
Is the PlayStation? It's the PlayStation answer for what is it? What was that game
It's a-
called?
It's a PS3
Demons-
remake.
Yeah,
but Demon
another
Souls.
remake.
Demon Souls. Right, but Demon Souls is what is the other Souls game? What is it called?
Dark Souls.
Come on. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the
Yes.
original. It's the game
That's
that
right. It's the
started
ri-
off Dark
That started
Souls.
it all. That's right. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yes. We'll jump back to that anyway because that's later out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Later on down the
Right.
list. But Godfall to me, I just wasn't impressed.
No.
I still did not feel like a
that's-
next
that's-
gen game. It felt like a current
Yeah, that shit
gen
look garbage.
PC
Yeah.
game, and
Yeah, that
then
shit look garbage.
it just looked like a
God dang,
high-end
it look
PC game.
garbage.
Yeah, it looked like a generic melee fighter.
Go have a
game
look
with
at
no
the trailer
character.
again on PlayStation channel. Actually have a look at the gameplay and then see if you see the fact that it looks like it's dropping frames.
Yeah. Okay.
It
Yeah.
does-
Yeah,
doesn't
you're
look
right. I mean, you're
smooth.
right. No, it doesn't.
Anything
Next.
you want to add further to that?
Let's move on.
Okay, Solar
talk about
Ash is on my list as a game that I also liked because I got Zelda vibes from it big time. Like the music, the score, everything like that. That was a very interesting art style. I was like, this would be a perfect game for the Switch. And from what I can tell at this moment, it is only confirmed to be for PS5 and releasing
A
2021.
lot of the games are
So
like
I'm
Switch titles. To be
Yeah.
honest. But is this the one with the girl where she lands and then her hair's sort of all wavy and weird?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It looks alright. Yeah. It'd be a great Game
I
Pass
would
game.
get that on Switch.
I wouldn't pay
if
60 quid for it.
if was coming to Switch.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would, yeah. It seems like a game that would be really good for portable.
Yeah.
So, hello, put it on xCloud, guys.
Yeah.
That's true.
After that, Hitman 3,
Yeah. Skip
PC,
it.
PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, January
Hitman's been
2021
done to death.
release date.
Yeah, I was watching it,
It has been done to death.
and while I was watching it, I
Oh,
thought
you
the
said
only
y'all got a
thing.
release date for the Xbox Series X?
No, this is the release date for Hitman, all January 2021
Oh,
on
yeah,
all the
that's
platforms it's
right.
releasing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
wish I
that's
had a
gonna be
release
nice.
date. Yep.
Do
Yeah,
you-
that's gonna be nice because that's gonna start off the year off fresh.
yeah.
That's good for them. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them because I love my
IO
Hitman
Interactive,
games.
yep.
I think the only.
They
I
do
think
support.
the thing I think what this Hitman needed to change it when I was watching it, I think Hitman now to pick it back up, it would be amazing if they made it 2-player. So you and the other player, you can talk through your strategy. So you can say, right, we've got to assassinate this guy. So I'll tell you what, you creep him through the back, you lure him up to this room, I'll go into the building opposite and I'll snipe him through the window. And then you make your escape.
Cool concept.
Yeah, it'd be a cool concept if you could do that, and you could work out and you can go through buildings and take out people by working together and teaming up and doing stuff, rather than just the sort of the generic sneak away through and just kill someone.
Was it Assassin's Creed Brotherhood or Assassin's Creed 2? Which one had the first lot of multiplayer introduced into Assassins?
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, yeah, which was number 4.
Yeah. The concept was that you could run around and they had all these different characters and some of them looked the same and you would act normal.
Yeah.
And then you would busy doing that and then you would try and assassinate each other.
Yeah.
While you looked like other characters so that if you assassinated the wrong person, you broke cover and then someone else could assassinate you. Yeah. I think that would be a cool concept to put into Hitman if they wanted to do that. And you could have people running around like trying to kill each other a position away.
That'd be a cool concept, yeah. Yeah, there's a hit out on someone, and there's more all the players have got the same hit on the same person. So you could either quickly go for the hit and kill him, or you can kill the other assassins.
Free for all, kill each other.
Yeah.
And just run around and smartly play it out. That would be cool.
I do like that second player notion though. That was nice.
Yeah, it'd be good.
I never really thought about it like that, but that would be and you know what? Honestly, make it. You know how you're. Well, make it a little bit faster. Make them move a little bit more. You know, make us do some stuff. Well, not just that. Just
you mean when you're strolling through the buildings, it can really drag when you're just walking around the buildings. Yeah.
Yeah,
and he walks.
Wake him up. Yeah, he walks like a robot. Yeah, wake him up.
He's a mannequin, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I got bored of games. It really is slow. Yeah.
Yes. Bring him to life a bit, instead of being that.
Bring him to life a little bit. Yeah.
Stiff. I think that you said it earlier when we were talking, Elite, that what you were really disappointed about that was that when the guy gets up and speaks and he's like, "Let's see some gameplay," and it was just gameplay teaser trailer. You couldn't. I was like,
there was no gameplay. Yeah, where's the gameplay?
Yeah,
it just
I was disappointed. And then Xbox got hit up, and inside Xbox for doing the same thing, and people give everyone a pass in PlayStation.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right. You don't say gameplay. Right, go on.
The one we're quickly going to skip over, Astro's Playroom, PS5, no release date.
Why have they made that game?
It's a set piece to take advantage of the DualSense controller. That's all it is. It's all about the DualSense controller. It's one of those gimmicky games that Sony has, or PlayStation is getting them to make to go, this is how amazing this controller is.
This is why you bought the DualSense controller for this game,
It looked like a weird reskin of Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
Yeah, but with Astro.
That's what it kind of looked like.
Yeah, it did. Skip that game. It's just really like it looked lazy. It looked terrible.
Anything you want to add to that, Legal?
No, y'all nailed it.
Game looks poo. Thanks, game.
No, stop that. Nah. I mean, man. Y'all nailed it. Y'all don't need me to talk. Listen, Red Dead Panda, you just keep doing your thing. Me and Elite, we're just proud of you. You just keep doing your thing. Yeah, just keep rolling with it.
Actually, I'll jump in, actually.
Support you as well.
Talking of Astro, this is the thing I mentioned before. Talking of Astro.
Yep.
So, because they made a big thing of it last gen, the Xbox got slated for not having it. So, my question is, where is the VR? What happened to VR?
Right.
Where was the VR games?
What happened to the teraflops?
Yeah.
What happened to the power notion? What happened?
Yeah.
We just don't know nothing about it no more. It's gone.
But I was expecting some VR games.
I'll add to that when we discuss about the PS5 console reveal.
Right,
of what I think they're going with this gen. Next was the last game on the list that they showed that I actually.
Hello, you cut out again. There you go.
Oh, sorry, I cut out on you.
Yeah, that's right. There we go.
I was interested in, off the 26 games that they showed, and there was 26 games. Little Devil Inside. It's coming to Steam. It's coming to PS4. It's coming to PS5. It's coming to Xbox One.
Yes.
Not yet confirmed for the Series X yet, but that's probably going to happen. No release date. It just looked interesting. Made me think a bit of Zelda in that sense, like the traversal
Oh, I remember that now, yeah.
gameplay.
That game sort of reminded me a bit like Bellow as well. And also, like that,
Yes.
what's that game with the war one? Where you play, it's like a side-scrolling war game. And you've got to go and you...
Ask me.
Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. It was like an old-fashioned war game, but it was like a little blocky character like that. Yeah, that looked interesting. Yeah, it looks
It
good.
looked interesting. I'm
Yeah.
intrigued. I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
An indie game, obviously,
Yeah.
and they had they got kickstarted, so the game was started being developed in 2015. I had a look into it because I was interested in it. After that, NBA 2K21, PS5, Xbox Series X, 2020 release date.
It's a generic NBA game. Let's move on. The only thing is, I'm shocked that they didn't show any gameplay for it. They just showed him doing hoops.
I'm worried about how are they going to try and earn money in this game.
Yeah.
They've come up each time they release a new game. They come up with another way to try and get people's money out of them.
I reckon the game will release,
what I'm concerned about.
but you'll have no basketball, and you have to buy your basketballs.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be hilarious.
And if your basketball goes out of bounds, you have to buy a new one for $5.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah.
They'll probably do it.
Yeah.
We've figured it out, guys. Other than that, the game that won the whole conference for everyone who complained about Grounded, Bug Snacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even say it with a straight face. That game just made me laugh.
It just make you laugh. All that stuff was just like so mediocre. It was hilarious. I don't even know what to say.
I was like, Grounded looks like an adult game in comparison to Bug Snacks.
Yeah, it looks like it's on an whole other level of animation.
It looked like a PG-3 game, didn't it?
Yes. It just looked interesting. Like, people gave Grounded a lot of crap, but it looks like it's a hard game, and you can die in that game. And you actually have to go out into the wilderness and go find.
Yeah, you actually have to.
It's actually a sandbox survival game. It's a massive sandbox survival world you're in.
It's a lot more deeper than eat some snacks and turn into the snacks that you've eaten.
I know.
For those who want to know, PC, PS4, PS5, holiday 2020.
Wow, there we go. Buy your PS5s for that game. Next gen SSD power right there.
The only thing that's interesting and annoying about that game is the fact it's theme song. It's just as bad as that Baby Sharks thing.
They kept,
you hear it?
they kept
stuck in
it. Yeah.
Oh, it annoyed me.
And the Wiener Hands, man. Oh, I've burnt the town down again. You think, what the fuck, man? Wiener Hands. What was that?
Don't talk about the Wiener Hands.
Yeah, it's Wiener Hands, man, that just come out of nowhere. I've got Wiener Hands and I've burnt the town. Okay.
I dropped the lamp and it burnt the town.
Yeah, because I've got wieners for hands. Yep. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yep. Demon Souls remake, not a remaster, clearly a remake. PS5 only, no release date. Not for me.
Nah, just give it.
Souls fan.
I don't want to really give much time to remakes and such. We want to see new games next generation because we don't like to play old games, do we? That's why we don't like backwards compatibility.
That's right.
We want to buy a new console and buy new games. Why are we buying remasters and remakes for? Why are we buying them?
Well, I know why this is being a remake. Do you know why? Because their console can't do backwards compatible with PS3 titles.
Exactly. And Sony are doing it on purpose to make more money. They don't want to do backwards compatibility. Yeah, they just want to resell you.
Wait for Shadow of the Colossus PS5 edition.
You know it.
That you have to pay for again.
Yeah, well, wait for The Last of Us 2 remastered version in like a month's time.
It's all messed up, man. It's all crazy.
Yeah.
Deathloop by Bethesda. PS4,
I like this game.
PC, no release date. I
like this.
The concept.
I wasn't too sure.
I want to see gameplay. I want to see people playing it where you can see both assassins. That's I think is going to get me to buy into the game.
Because I wasn't too sure. I thought it looked okay at first, and then I was thinking, and it said about just like we did with Hitman. Do you get to play the other assassin that has to take out this assassin? And I was wondering all the way through And then right at the end, they showed a little glimpse. Is this also you can play as her? And then it just showed. It must have been like 5 seconds of you playing as her, didn't it? Through her eyes, and it ended.
This
and I was
is the
thinking,
second reveal of the game.
Yeah.
It revealed last year, was it?
Oh, really? Oh, right. I've never
Yeah,
seen it before.
they revealed it last year, and I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it. This made me go, oh, it's a bit more interesting than I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be. It also kind of gave me like, I guess, We Happy Few vibes in a way, like the way, I don't know how it was, but I guess it's the way you traverse the game and
Yeah.
such. It just felt a bit like that. So it's interesting.
That Tokyo game gave me the wee Happy View game. Is it Tokyo? There's like Saint Tokyo. That gave me,
Ghostwire Tokyo.
yeah, that gave me Happy Wee
We Happy Few
Wee
vibes.
Happy View. Yeah, that gave me massive Wee
Yeah.
Happy. The weird
Looking forward
faces
to
and
see
all
what
the weird.
Compulsion Games does
Yeah,
next.
but for this game, I like the look of it only because the co-op part of it. I want to see more of it. How I want to see that flowing. So yeah, I like
Is this a
that,
game
but I just
you'll
want to see
pick
the co-op.
up? You'll pick up.
Oh no, hell no,
Oh,
hell
no?
no.
Fair
None
enough.
of them games did anything. I told you, like to be honest with y'all, the only game that made sense was the new Horizon Zero Dawn game. The Spider-Man game didn't make no sense.
Nah,
None
that
of
don't
them
make
games
sense.
made sense.
Yeah.
So you're talking
None of those
about
games made sense.
GTA 5?
GTA didn't even make no damn sense.
What? Oh yeah.
G-
GTA.
remastered GTA 5.
It should have
Yeah.
been a blog
Right,
post.
a remastered 2013 game. Like, come on, man.
It
Yeah.
didn't
It
need
made
to be
no
a
sense.
showcase. Didn't need to be a
Right,
showcase.
didn't even wasted people's time even showing it.
Yeah.
That was a waste.
Even Digital Foundry
Made no
said that.
sense.
They said, why are they showing that? I said, it's weird.
Right.
We have
Next.
Village, Resident Evil, so Resident Evil 8, PS5,
Yeah, don't care.
Xbox Series X and Steam,
Is it-
2021. Not
Oh,
for
this is
me,
a new
not
game.
Resident Evil
Yeah,
fan.
don't care of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
It looks. It reminded Blair Witch actually. It looked more like Blair Witch, but a Resident Evil version of Blair Witch. The Blair Witch game on Xbox.
The werewolf thing's a bit interesting, but
But what's the connection
not
to
my
Resident
sort of
Evil?
game.
Have they just stuck the Resident Evil name on it just to sell it?
isn't it
it-
Chris Redfield at the end? Right
yeah.
at the very end, I'm pretty sure he's like.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Until
I
that
don't
point, it didn't you couldn't tell it was Resident Evil. Until at the end, it showed
Well,
him and said Resident Evil, and then everyone was like, "Oh, Resident
It's the
Evil."
first trailer, so I
Yeah.
think we've got a lot more to find out about that game.
But I don't want to
but
plug
I'm
Resident
not
Evil
buying
onto
into
it
it.
just
It's
to
not for me.
sell it. Yeah. No, not me.
Yep.
Next.
Pragmata? Is that the other Square Enix game? I think so.
That was
I mean, what was the one game that y'all saw that didn't make no damn sense?
I think that might be it. That was the one with the sort of the Halo-looking guy and the girl,
Astro's
wasn't it?
Playroom. That was the one game I didn't think made sense. And Bugsnax.
Yeah.
Pragmata, PS5 and Xbox Series X
This
2020.
this don't interest me. That was just one big cutscene. There was no gameplay. It looked like a Halo character who picks up a little girl and they sort of jump onto the moon. And it just
kind of reminded me of Destiny, the helmet.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like sort of
yeah,
Destiny
definitely.
Halo character,
I don't
and
know.
it made no sense.
The
It was all cutscene and it didn't explain any of the game. It was just weird.
Is it going to be the new like?
Is it a shooter? Is it what is it? What kind of game is it? They didn't know what kind of game it was. It was just weird. It was just one big cutscene, and they ended up on the moon. That's all I know, and it was just weird. Next game.
How they closed out the game.
Yeah.
Horizon Forbidden West, PS5 exclusive, no release date.
Yeah. You won't get that till 2022, 23.
Yeah, probably.
But they'll keep showing it up
thoughts?
until that point and
I
hyping it up.
don't have much of an opinion on this, other
Nah.
than I didn't really
I had no interest in the game at
get
all.
any vibes for it.
Nah.
I mean, I haven't played the first one, which is probably why I don't have that buy-in factor.
Do
'cause I
y'all
played the first one, and I'm
think
looking
the
forward to
show
the next
should
one.
even have been an hour? Do you think that show was even worth an hour?
No, if they cut out the Switch tiles, it would have been half the time.
I gave it my own personal rating, 6.5 to a 7.
Okay.
I was not overly impressed. It started out a little bit strong-ish,
Oh,
and
no,
then
I thought it started off weak
and then it kind of picked up. Well, it started
because
very
it started with
weak,
GT5
but
and then
there was
Spider-Man.
some interest in the fact that there was Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool and interesting. But then when I realised it wasn't
It wasn't a natural game.
full-on game, I
Yeah.
was really disappointed. And
Yeah.
what disappointed me with that was the holiday 2020 release date. I was like, no, nah, done.
It's too early.
Clean my
You
hands.
knew
It's
it
too
wasn't even
early.
done.
The
It's
Spider,
gonna be glitchy and all kinds of stuff.
yeah, the Spider-Man reveal was like, here's Spider-Man, and they pulled the carpet away from under you, and they went, ha, suckers. It was like that.
I feel like this 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 reveal didn't have what Sony usually has, or PlayStation usually has, that
Yeah, that's right.
PlayStation
It wasn't
magic,
powerful
that
at all.
hard hitting. There is one game in there I have to play. Everything else was rubbish. This game elevated everything. It didn't have that factor. It didn't have that one game where you were like,
Yeah.
draw drop, must have a PS5,
Yeah.
no matter
you're right.
what.
Yeah, nothing
I
stood
didn't
out.
get that.
There was nothing that stood out.
It was meh to me. It
Yeah.
was like, why didn't they just? It felt like a really long state of play.
All generation, they've run down Xbox
Right,
for
it
having
was a waste
cartoon
of time.
games. Yeah, they've run down Xbox for having
feel like-
cartoony games, and they've promoted PS4 for having masterpieces. It showed no master.
It
Apart
didn't
from
feel
maybe
like
Horizon Zero Dawn, it showed no masterpieces at all. Nothing that stood out. Nothing that demonstrated the power of next gen at all.
It
To me.
it felt like an E3 that Xbox did earlier when they didn't have a lot of games.
Yeah. Yeah.
To showcase, so they filled it up with other things.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm actually really excited for what's coming in July. I feel like because the indies coming out,
Yeah.
July is solely
Yeah,
for
what,
first
what do you
party.
think about what do y'all think about the price, the pre-order price right now for $700? It's crazy,
I think
right?
it's a placeholder.
It's not, is it?
Placeholder. I'm
Yeah.
concerned about the cost.
Well, I
because
will
it
break
looks-
it down, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to break that down.
It's not
because gonna
£700.
cost me $700 regardless. Well, it's gonna eventually. It's gonna cost you that anyway.
To play what?
It is.
Remastered
It's gonna be
I'll
Spider-Man.
break it down a little bit. I'll break it down. I'll break it down later on.
I'm concerned about the design of it. The design of it doesn't tell me it is easy to manufacture. It tells me it's costly
Oh yeah,
to
you
manufacture.
saw that. Yeah, that's just put together. Yeah, that's just put together.
The design also tells me
A
it's not going
5-year-old
to be
kid could have made that game. I mean that console.
well. It doesn't tell me that this console is going to be great for designing.
Doesn't look durable.
Custom consoles.
Yeah, doesn't look durable.
Right.
Xbox has a blank canvas, lovely sides, easy to design custom consoles,
Yeah.
and it's so simple that it's cheap to produce.
Yeah. 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 And because
Industrial.
how it's shaped, you can really make really good customized consoles for it. Whereas the PS5 thing, having customized consoles, is really limited because it's got no front on it. It's just on the side. You can have just like all the other PS4 consoles. It'd probably just be a sticker stuck on the side. It'd be like God of War 5. You just have a sticker God of War 5 stuck on the side because there's not much you can do. And they might change the LEDs in it. That's probably why they change the LEDs in it. That's about it.
So, my thoughts about the whole PS5 reveal, and the whole show anyway. Why did they have all those teasers in between all the games? That
Yeah.
irritated the hell
Yeah,
out
so
of me.
me too. Yeah,
Why did it have a what? Why did it have a what now?
All those little teaser
the
clips
silly little
the-
it kept showing the
with the cross
I didn't need to
circle,
show. You don't need to
triangle.
show me how many times you can recreate the damn logo on my screen.
yeah, I know.
Like, god damn.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand it. I was sick of it. I was like,
yeah,
are they going to show the console now? Are they going to just get it over and done with?
yeah.
I understand why they left it till the end, but my understanding is the way they actually revealed that console with the little balls or the little beads. They're trying to talk about how this console is about sensations,
Yeah.
whether it's volume, whether it's the DualSense controller. This is what you're going to get out of the console, the feel for the gaming. However, it doesn't tell me that the games are going to be able to compete on a level with what PC is going to be bringing around graphical fidelity and frame rate, and what Xbox Series X will be able to do around that either.
Yeah.
It's not going for that hard hitting. Yes, it's going to have the SSD. We know the SSD is going to be good, but it's not going to compensate for the fact that the graphics card and the GPU, I mean graphics
Well,
card and the
anytime it has
CPU
to overclock,
aren't
it's
on the same
garbage.
level.
At the,
Yeah.
Elite was the first one to call it out. People don't nobody believe him, and then the damn article came out,
Yeah.
and it's going to be overclocked. I mean, it's almost
Yeah.
to the point where anybody with common sense would know that.
Yeah. And that
I
will put a lot of stress on the hardware.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
puts a
get
lot of stress on the
PS5
hardware.
eventually. I'm not going to get it day one. I can't afford to get it day one, and I am now trying to figure out, and this is what irritated me. The digital
here's what
edition.
Legal's going to do.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Legal does not support any Sony products as far as video games go. And it's not because I have to try to prove to somebody I'm a gamer or not. It's just the fact that Sony does not take care of their own customers. They just got sued. They just got sued for denying their own
Refunds in Australia?
customers.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
if they don't take care of their own customers, what makes people think they're going to take care of them?
They're not. They're there to make money. They're there solely to make money. What annoys me though is the argument. You know how when Xbox Series X got announced and everyone's like, "Oh, that name is so confusing."
Yeah.
People are gonna walk in and go, "I want the Xbox One X by mistake," when they really mean the Series X,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna buy the wrong console because maybe it's a grandparent buying their kid a console. I mean, their grandkids a console. Or it's the parents buying it as a gift and they get the wrong one. What do you think is going to happen with the PS5 and PS5 Digital Edition?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You guys can't use that argument on Xbox owners any longer.
Yeah.
Now we
No.
can use it on you.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Shoe on the other foot. Like,
No, they
it
can't use
annoyed
that
the hell
argument at
out
all
of
no
me.
more.
Mm.
Just like they can't use the whole Xbox only has cartoony games that
Yeah.
aren't for single player driven
They had a
cinematic
They got a
experiences.
whole
Yeah.
generation of them now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
What concerns me is PlayStation hasn't talked more about backwards compatible. PlayStation
No.
hasn't opened up more about the cooling system.
They give no
in their
details about the
console when they
box.
said they were going to
Yeah.
talk about it.
They give no details about the console at all, which is odd.
Yeah, the reason why I'm concerned about the backwards compatibility is because of the fact that there is rumours that with the DRM that Xbox was initially going to do, was that the discs themselves had a code on it. So the rumour is with backwards compatibility, if you get a digital edition, you can take that disc in, get a digital copy code, and then install a digital copy for yourself if you have an all digital edition console. That way your discs are not worthless if you get a console that can't play discs. Sony hasn't elaborated on that at all. What happens if you've got PS4 games that you've got discs for and you want to get the digital edition, or you accidentally buy the digital edition? How are you going to play that backwards compatible game? No, you're going to have to buy a digital version. They haven't elaborated enough on it.
They're being very, very, very sly. But unfortunately, they're going to be supported by their gamers regardless of what they do and what they say. And there's a lot of smoke and mirrors at the moment, and their gamers are just taking their frustrations out on Xbox, oddly enough. So anyway, I'm going to
That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do.
Yeah, rather than
They're really mad
question
at
Sony, they just go at Xbox. So, but anyway, I'm going to round it up there because we've gone on for quite some time now.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to have to love you and leave you. Thank you everyone for watching and paying attention. Please sub and share. I'll put Legals and Panda's details below as usual. Yeah, please sub, share and like, and we'll leave it there and goodbye for now.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Bye y'all.
And thank you for having me.
Oh.